Hey guys, so I have a little bit of a Sephora haul for you. I'm going to do it a bit of a different style than I normally do because I really don't have that much to show. I only have 4 formulas and 3 of which are blushes, and I have multiple colors in a couple of those formulas, so we're just kind of going to do a play with me sesh with the most recent stuff that I ordered from Sephora of just new makeup that I wanted to try. So we'll start off with the one non-cheek related item because so much for the cheeks. So when I placed the order, it was originally for the Makeup by Mario Soft Pop Plumping Blush Veil, but I ordered a few other things that I had my eye on, starting off with this for the eyebrows because I do need to put a brow gel in. This is by Makeup by Mario. It's the Master Hold Brow Gel. I'm really into brow gels lately, so I just wanted to see if this one really had a master level of hold. So it seems really tiny, like the brush handle is big for no reason, made in USA, 6 months shelf life. That's kind of short. But let's see, it's not too ooey gooey in the brows. In fact, I feel like it's not really releasing much product in the brow. It did give me a slightly softer but fluffier brow look. You know how some brow gels, you can just tell there's a ton of product and it really lays the hairs down. It's pretty intense. This one is definitely on the softer side. So I'm gonna let this set down and we'll see how strong the hold is. But I did pick this up. There was a few launches from Makeup by Mario that launched that I haven't picked up, and this was one of them. I was quite curious. I added an extra layer in this one, and I could see it kind of starting to get clumpy, but not anything to be concerned about. So we will leave it at that. It's interesting, actually. The bristles, they have one side that's longer and kind of softer, and then this other side is a little bit shorter and more stiff. I like the shorter, stiff side. So you see how that really brushes the brows up like that, and then the longer side leaves more of a soft look. Interesting. That's actually quite neat. So I definitely prefer the shorter side because that really put my brows where I want them. So we're gonna let that set down. Yeah, this is the first thing that I ordered, but that brings us to the blush portion already. I picked up 3 different formulas. It is blush season, baby. I am planning in the next few days, probably next week, I'm gonna get a review of all the new blush formulas that I've tried because we have Makeup by Mario, NARS, Huda Beauty, Say, Dior, Pat McGrath, and I'm sure there's more that I'm forgetting, so we'll do a little bit of a blush roundup. But today we're going to play with the ones that I picked up. Starting off with the main reason I wanted to place this order. I was going to do an individual review, but with the holiday weekend, the shipping just took a little bit longer. But I picked up 2 shades of the new cream blush for Makeup by Mario, and I was intrigued because these look to be a very similar formula to one of my favorite products from Makeup by Mario. Like keeping an eye on my phone because my Natasha Denona Yucca, I kept calling it Yucca in the video, but my Yucca palette is out for delivery today, and I'm hoping it comes in and I'll have enough time because I have a workout class at 4:30. Okay, so the soft plumping blush veils, they come in the normal Makeup by Mario packaging. These are made in Italy and they have a 12-month shelf life. And then the packaging is the same as what is already existing in the line, so it's very cohesive with what he already has. So I picked up the shade Perfect Pink and then Barely Blushing. Perfect Pink looks quite pink, oh my goodness. And then Barely Blushing is a little bit more neutral, a little bit more up my alley. So what I was curious about the blush formula, the Soft Sculpt Transforming Skin Enhancer is one of my favorite products from the brand, and it's very sheer, and since it was in the same packaging, I was wondering if the blushes were going to be that way. They look as though they're going to be more pigmented, but let's see, let's swatch. So we'll do Perfect Pink. Okay, I don't think these are going to be sheer like the bronzers. And then we have Barely Blushing. These feel very wet. Not very wet, but pretty wet. Definitely not a formula that feels like it's going to dry down, but we'll see. No, they actually are sheer. This pink shade definitely has more color. Just for reference, so you can see. You know, the consistency is quite similar. It is a similar consistency, but the blushes definitely have more color to them. Let's just go ahead and apply them to the face because it's not giving us much on the cheek. I don't have any powder on my face since I have a lot of cream blushes that I'm playing with today. Okay, we'll start off with the neutral shade, Barely Blushing. I have lights down so we can see. Ooh, it feels so nice. It looks like it has a pretty glow to it. So Barely Blushing, barely visible. It's very, very natural on my skin tone, very sheer. Now, what I liked about the skin enhancers is that these look beautiful on bare skin, aka not even with makeup. I wonder if these will do well with that as well, like just on bare skin. Okay, this is a BK Beauty 109 brush, and it's bringing this color to life because it was very sheer before, which is great if you have a fair complexion. But if you need more pigment, this 109 brush from BK Beauty, I highly recommend it. But any synthetic brush is going to help build up the color. Oh, that's very pretty. It gives a very dewy look to the cheek, but very smooth. It doesn't look thick. It looks really, really thin, but has a kind of glassy glow to it. I'm going to wipe off my brush, and let's try Perfect Pink, which is definitely the more bold one, I would say. Oh, yeah. So some of them I feel like are more pigmented than others. That Barely Blushing, barely visible. This one, even with the finger, definitely has more pop to it. Oh my gosh. And then the brush just takes it to a different level of intensity. Ooh, that's beautiful. Honestly, I much prefer this pink shade. I think there's more bang for your buck here than the Barely Blushing. If you are very, very fair though, you might really like this shade. But I do enjoy the finish of this. I'm getting my mirror a little closer. This is little white thing right here. And it's going very well with the product. I'm wearing a weird concealer, so if it looks weird, like right here, that's the concealer. But it has a very even application. It looks quite smooth on the face. Ooh, I can't wait to test this for longevity. But it really kind of soaks into the skin like butter and becomes one with whatever products you have underneath. I said it's reacting really funny to my concealer right here, but just let it ride. I was using this Bare Minerals brightening concealer. It sat a little bit in my drawer, and I think I need to mix it up a bit. But okay, so far, very first impressions. I like this formula. It is a little different than I was expecting, but seems very, very pretty. It feels a lot more liquidy and wet than the actual cream blush stick that he has. The cream blush stick has a lot more pigment, and I think it's better for oily skin. This one is for like no makeup days or drier skin. I think we'll appreciate this formula more. I'm gonna go ahead and pop a little bit of foundation over top to get rid of the excess blush color so that we can move on to the next formula. I'm using the old discontinued Dior Forever that really needs to be decluttered, but I love this for applying blushes because it layers over itself without getting too heavy or cakey. All the color in my cheek is gone. Maybe not all, I see a little bit of pink. Okay, and then the next formula, I was so excited that I literally got 3 shades of the NARS Afterglow Liquid Blush. I am such a NARS fan. I had to get my hands on these, and the colors, I couldn't choose, so I had to get 3. So of course I had to pick up the Orgasm shade, and then I also got Brazen and Wonderlust. Let's see, where are these made in? 6 months shelf life, made in Canada. Okay, so let's start off the swatching. Ooh, a nice big doe foot. I like that. So this one, Orgasm. Let's see. Oh, okay. Quite liquidy, but it has a good level of pigment. Sometimes Orgasm products can pull a little weird because I feel like the golden shimmer can be off on the cheeks. We'll see. And then I picked up Brazen, which is kind of like a corally shade. Might be a really fun pop for summer. And then I had to do something fun, so I picked up the purple shade Wonderlust, which I don't know if I'm gonna like this on me, but we're gonna give it a try. And these do look very liquidy. Like you can see there is a little bit of unevenness with my swatches. I'm gonna blend them out, and they kind of feel like a gel-like consistency. Definitely lighter amount of color, as you can see that blending out. And they do feel like they're drying down just a bit, so as they stick on the hands, they start to become more of a thicker gel consistency. And when they first come out, they do feel more like a liquid, like watery, I guess is the word I'm looking for. Okay, so we have to start off with the classic Orgasm. I'd have no clue how much color I should be doing. I'm gonna use my beauty sponge that soaked up all of the color. Okay, beauty sponge is a no. Do a little bit more. I'm gonna use my BK Beauty 109. It does kind of soak into the skin a little bit, but it's leaving behind a subtle golden flush. I thought it was gonna have more pigment than it did. Kind of as you blend it out, it does lose that opacity. Let me see how Brazen does, because this one has more of a coral pop. I'm gonna try my finger with this first. So it looks like it would give a ton of color, but it does sheer out pretty quickly. Like this Brazen shade, it definitely spread out better with a finger, which is contrary to the Makeup by Mario, but the brush will soak up some of the product since it is a wet feel to it. So it's almost good to spread it out with your finger because it's not going to soak up the liquidiness. Then as you spread it out and the product seems to thicken up a little bit, then you can use a brush to spread it out a little bit more even. Okay, like these two colors are quite close to one another. I don't think you're going to need every single color in the line for these, but they do have a very healthy, dewy look to them. Let's try Wonderlust. This is a shade that I don't know if I'm going to like for myself, but yeah, shades like these don't look good on me, but I was hopeful. It's a little light as well, and this one especially I'm going to use my finger with first because it is shearing out pretty quick. I don't think this is going to show up on a deeper complexion than mine because this is barely giving me any. Now, I could get this color to work with the right look and the right products to complement it, but right now it looks a little gray. I don't know if you can see that. I'm not loving this product as much. I love the way it feels, and it also has a nice hydrating feel to the cheek, but they do sheer out, and unfortunately, and this is my bad, but I don't love this shade on me. I could make it work for the right look, but if you have a very, very cool undertone and you're quite fair, I think you'll love this shade. But they sheer out a little more than I would prefer. I didn't pick up the darkest or most bold shades by any means because that could have been disastrous. But I wasn't as impressed with Orgasm because I felt like kind of soaked right into the skin. I liked Brazen the most of the three because it gave me the most color. I think, you know, with a thicker layer of foundation, these are just soaking right in and losing the coverage to get the most out of this product. From what I can see, it seems it might do better for like lighter makeup days or almost no makeup days where you don't really have a full foundation on. If you just have a little bit of concealer down where you need, pop this on the cheeks and I think it will give a pretty effect. But it definitely is not for full coverage looks. It's a little sheer for that. I'm taking a makeup sponge and I just want to see how this goes on bare skin. So we'll see how Orgasm does on my bare skin right here. Just want to see if it holds pigment better. Yeah, it definitely shows up more. So a foundation, that coverage can eat up the color. So this one almost looks more like a stain or a tint on the cheek. And it's definitely better. I can see the color much better on bare skin. So I would probably most likely reach for these on lighter makeup days, but I'll continue to keep you guys updated. This is just a first impressions. So let me clean up my cheek and we'll get on to the last product that I purchased. Okay, this is the last thing that I bought. I was very curious, as I am with anything that Huda Beauty comes out with, the lip blush. So it's a creamy lip and cheek stain. And so it's supposed to have like long-lasting wear, blah, blah, blah. So for lips, apply directly on the lips using the applicator. And then for cheeks, they recommend to put a small amount on your cheek and use your fingers to blend or a tool, and then to do one cheek at a time. So let's see. I picked up the color Rosy Kiss because that sounded like it was right up my alley. I wonder if this is going to stain my cheeks. It seems very K-Beauty-esque. No scent, really. Okay, let's see. Ooh, I like this shade. Am I crazy? I feel like it smoothed the lines of my lips. It's not too pigmented. But the tint that this gives my lips is gorgeous. Sometimes with like the K-Beauty lip tints, I feel like they can pull very, very red. I like this. It's kind of darkening by the second. And it is drying down. Wait, I love the color that this dries to. Okay, let's try the cheeks though, which I'm nervous about. I don't really like lip and cheek products. Normally I find they don't work for both, but I already love it on the lips. The face, it dries really, really fast. Holy cow. That was hard to blend. And it doesn't really blend out. It's just kind of like where you place it. You have to pat it in because I'm trying to spread the product out and it's not really spreading. I'm having to re-dip to get a better blend where I want the product. I see why they say apply one at a time because this is crazy. Fast drying. It's very, very lightweight. It literally does feel like a stain on the cheeks and it looks super duper natural. It's like soaking up right into the skin, really. It does leave that stained look behind. So there's some color to it, but it's kind of a lot to work out. Let's see what my 109 does. I feel like I have to apply it over a big area like this. And the applicator itself doesn't have that much product. Okay, I gotta work fast. Okay, that was a much easier application. So my recommendation is to really just like paint it on over the whole cheek that you want it. And then use a finger or a brush is better because you have more surface area to push it in quickly. This looks much better, more even. Really nice, actually. I feel like the color has continued to darken on the lips. I love that color as well. It looks more pink, like almost cherry on the cheeks compared to my lips, which look kind of mauve-y. But yeah, so I think the applicator on this should be bigger for applying on the cheeks because you have to really layer it down. Definitely a learning curve to the application of this, but it definitely gives that stain look to the cheek. I wonder when I take my makeup off if it's gonna leave that blush behind. This could be really good for a no makeup day if it doesn't bleed off with like sweat or anything. Interesting. I'm gonna leave that on. That is the last product that I picked up, but I do want to talk about another blush that just launched at Sephora. I got them in PR, so these are something that I would have purchased myself had I not received it. But since we're on the topic of new blushes at Sephora, Say Beauty launched these Glow Sculpt multi-use cream highlighting blushes. I don't know how I'm gonna do much of an application, but I did want to show you these. Directions. For a sculpted glow and luminous wash of color, apply to the cheeks and high points of the face. So we're going to look at a couple different colors. These will definitely be in my video highlighting the new blushes. So this pink glow definitely looks like more of a highlight. Ooh, it is creamy, but like kind of a powdery cream. Oh yeah, that's more of a highlight. That looks really pretty. Let me apply it. Ooh, yeah, that has a lot of bounce back. Well, that's not a blush. Let me see what other colors that they have. It's applying actually quite nice. You know I don't like cream highlights, but... Ooh, that gave a good bounce back. Pink Glow from Say. What other colors do they have? I'm curious if they get deeper. Let's do Peach Glow. Is this gonna be a good blush? I know I'm just putting 1,000 blushes on my cheeks right now. These will go into my testing drawer to test. Peach Glow. So this one is gonna be more of a blush. It feels a little drier than the Pink Glow. Ooh, that's like orgasm vibes from NARS. I would say less reflective than Pink Glow, because this is clearly meant to be more of like a blush shade, and I feel like it's definitely less reflective. Definitely a drier feel than the other products that I tested today, less emollients, but I feel like it's gonna have better longevity because of that. I know I have the cheek stain underneath, but that is a really fun pop. Ooh, these are interesting. What about Bronze Glow? Is this supposed to be like a bronzer? This could be a stunning blush color on a deeper complexion, right? I mean, they say you can really do whatever you want with these. I should have put them on my eyes. Just seeing if this does any sculpting of this sort. Kind of looks a little purple on me. I probably wouldn't use it in this way, but that added like somewhat of a shadow. Ooh, these are gonna be so fun to play with. I was not expecting these to be like this. I'm just gonna swatch all of them because they look really, really nice. These have like a nice packaging as well. It's like a magnetic closure situation. So this is Mauve Glow. So this one would be another really beautiful blush. So when you touch it at first, it feels dry, and then as your finger warms up to it, it becomes a cream, but not super duper malleable or soft or creamy. That's beautiful. That has a lot of reflex. And then the last one is Quartz Glow. And this is a beautiful highlight for deep skin tones. I feel like they did a stunning range for what's gonna work on a lot of different skin tones. So like a highlight on some people, a bronzy shade on others. These look stunning. Ooh, I wish I would have put these on the eyes like they suggested. These look like they'd be really beautiful cream eyeshadows. We'll definitely continue playing with those. But yeah, okay, so those are some more blushes at Sephora. We got real blushy today. The eyebrow gel has dried down. It has a soft hold to it. So it definitely is holding the brows actually much nicer, and it doesn't feel heavy, like too strong of a hold. So if you want to tame your brows, I actually really like this if you don't like that super strong hold feel, because this has a strong hold from what I'm seeing without feeling really hard or cracky. That's actually quite nice. Okay, I approve of that brow gel. So what I'm thinking, approve of the brow gel. The cream blushes seem nice. I don't think they're like anything to write home about, but they seem nice. The NARS, I do feel like I need to play with these more. I'm not in love with them on first impressions, but I think with the right look and correct techniques, I could get the most of these. Pleasantly surprised at this Huda Beauty lip blush. A little difficult to apply to the cheeks, but I really like the way that it looks. Love the way that it has dried down and stained my lips. This shade is gorgeous. So I thought I was going to be the least interested in this, and I actually think of the 3 blush formulas that I purchased, this one might be my favorite. But the shocker here, I did not realize how much I was going to enjoy this Say Glow Sculpt. I feel like there's a lot of versatility in this product. It has potential to be nice and long-lasting, perfect for summer, working for a lot of different skin tones. So this was a shocker. I almost didn't talk about these in the video, but I thought since I was talking about new blushes at Sephora, I'd pull them out since I was curious. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video of me playing with blushes and found it helpful. If you've tried any of these products down below, let me know the best way to apply them. If you have any tips, I'd love to hear it as I continue to test these more. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye guys, have a good one.